Hi there, and welcome to the Whitesboro Public Library Storytime. I am Miss Laura, and thank you so very much for joining us today. We know time is valuable and we don't have enough of it these days, but we do appreciate you joining us each week for Storytime. Today, I was telling the group about a book, or actually last week I was telling the group about a book, and Gregory said he wanted to introduce it. He said, I think I'm like little Chester in this book. And I said, okay, Gregory, are you ready for this? He said, oh, yes, I'm ready. So Gregory is going to introduce our story today. There he is. There he is. Now, Gregory doesn't talk, so I'm going to introduce it for him. But today's story is about a little baby raccoon. And the raccoon is a little afraid he's going to go off to school. And, and Gregory is a little shy. I don't know what he's afraid of, but he's a little shy. And he thought he was just like little Chester, so he wanted to introduce it. So we're going to read a story today about Chester, who is a raccoon, and he's going to go to school. And another interesting thing about raccoons that might be interesting for you with this story is raccoons are nocturnal. Yeah, the raccoons are nocturnal. So what that means is they go to school and they wake up at night and do everything at night. Where we go to bed, they wake up. And then when they go to sleep, we wake up because it's daytime. So when Chester goes to school, he's going to go at night. And that might be confusing to you in the story, but it's not for a raccoon because they do everything at night. So Gregory was a little confused with that, but we got that squared away. So I just wanted to explain that to you. So without further ado, right, Gregory? Yeah, without further ado, Gregory and I are going to read you the story of the kissing hand. Yes, okay. All right. The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. And another note about this book is the pictures are beautiful. The pictures are absolutely gorgeous in this book. So be sure and check out all the pictures. Not just the story, but the forest and the colors. Look, there's a ladybug. Anyway, here we go. Chester, he stood at the edge of the forest and he cried. He said, I don't want to go to school, Mommy. Why can't I stay here with you? And stay here and just be with you and my friends. He didn't want to go to school. And look, there's even a tiny little tear there. But Mrs. Raccoon said, now, Chester, and she nuzzled in his ear. She said, sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do, even when they're strange and scary. But you're going to love school. What's that? Somebody's coming down to check out the conversation between the Mrs. Raccoon and Chester. Oh, look, somebody else is listening in. She said, you'll make new friends. Little red-headed woodpecker up there, and you'll play with new toys. You'll read new books and swing on new swings. And besides, I have a wonderful secret I will share with you that will keep your nights warm when you're in school. Ooh, a wonderful secret. Chester wiped his eye and he said, oh, a secret? What kind of secret? She said, oh, it's a very old secret. I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from her mother, and she learned it from her mother. It's called the kissing hand. The kissing hand? Asked Chester. Little inquisitive guy. Look, more people are in the picture. I think more people are interested in Chester. Maybe new friends he's going to make. She said, I'll show you. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and she opened it wide and she spread all his little fingers apart. She leaned forward and she kissed him right in the palm of the hand. Chester looked at it and he closed his hand to keep his kiss right in the palm of his hand. Cool. Mrs. Raccoon smiled and she said, "Now, Chester, whenever you feel lonely or need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. And that very kiss will jump from your hand and it'll land on your face and it'll keep you nice and toasty and warm." Look, here's somebody else watching the conversation. Look at that sweet picture of Chester looking at his hand. Look at that beautiful tree. Lots of little animals here. A fox and a rabbit. It's a turtle. She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped the fingers up. She said, "Now be careful. Careful not to lose it," she teased him. "Don't worry. When you open your hand and wash your hands, it won't wash away. Hold your hold your hold your kissing hand tight." Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him everywhere he went, even to school. Oh gosh, look how happy he is. Playing with a ball. Now he feels so much better. So that night, Chester stood at the edge of the forest and he looked thoughtful, and suddenly he turned to his mother and he grinned. He said, "Give me your hand." This is the school where Chester's going. Chester took his mother's hand, put it in his own, and he unfolded her large fingers, familiar fingers, into a fan. And the next, he leaned forward and he put a kiss right in the middle of her hand. And he said to her, "Now you have a kissing hand too." And with a gentle goodbye, he said, "I love you." And he danced away. Off to school. All the little animals are going to school. Bunnies. See, the sun is setting and it's getting dark. They're all going to school. There goes Chester. Mrs. Raccoon, she scampered across the tree. She watched Chester scamper across the tree limb, and the hoot owl called school to start. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. "Chester loves you." And she sang it again. "Chester loves you." Just like Mommy loves Chester. Isn't that a beautiful picture? I think the wise old owl is going to teach school. All the animals are there to go to school. The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. I have a special mommy in my life, so that book's very special to me as well, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you were all still being very, very safe as we journey on through COVID madness. Please remember, even though we may have a kissing hand, remember to washy, 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 washy your hands. Be safe out there, everyone. Thank you again so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Take care.